Yo, good afternoon, people. Good afternoon on this beautiful Sunday. It's beautiful Sunday, August 18th, 2024. 2024, y'all. Give everybody a minute, or people, whoever, a minute to get up in here. Hopefully the notification goes out. If not, it's all good. I'm still going to get what I have to say out, because that's what I do regardless of how many people are in here, how many likes I get. I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to speak my mind. The weather is cooling down.
Bone on bone, constant.
The fuck? Y'all can do me a favor if you'd be so obliged to hit the like button when you come through here. What the fuck? Ugh, okay, I gotta get from behind this motherfucker. His exhaust is all in my face. All right. Again, it is Sunday afternoon, early afternoon, August 18, 2024. And I got to talk about this, okay? Talk about this in the world of boxing. I don't know how I got to let this motherfucker get in front of me. So, a lot of interesting things. We're going to talk about the active shooter. Nope, I'm not going to talk about the active shooter in this live. That is a separate live. So that'll be the live after this one. So, for those of you guys in the boxing world that are boxing fans, boxing enthusiasts, you know, there is a lot of bullshit going on in the sport of professional boxing. A lot of bullshit going on in the sport of professional boxing. A lot of drama, a lot of soap opera type shit. And this is being perpetuated and pushed along by boxing YouTubers, right? Boxing YouTubers promote the sport more than any other medium. Social media influencers, YouTube boxing channels, they're the ones that move the sport along nowadays. It's no longer old media. It's no longer mainstream media. It's really, again, the social media influencers in the realm of boxing. They're the ones who push the sport. And I don't think that a lot of these YouTubers understand the level of influence they have in the sport of boxing. And if they do, well, they don't have an ounce of integrity. Certain people. They will push narratives. They will spin narratives. They will pirouette narratives like a goddamn ballerina. And it's really shameful. Really shameful. Because the sport can be a lot purer if you just stuck to what is the most important thing about boxing, right? About the sport. You know, this doesn't happen in the UFC necessarily. This doesn't happen in MMA. This doesn't happen particularly in Muay Thai. With Muay Thai, and this is why I hope it becomes big in America, because I would really like to cover Muay Thai myself. Like, I would dedicate a channel to covering Muay Thai, and I hope it gains some traction. It kind of is getting bigger. You know what I'm saying? You just need more people interested in actually participating and competing in the sport in the United States. But anyway, and that brings me to this narrative that a certain YouTuber goes by Knockout Boxing 86 TV. is pushing about Devin Haney. Okay, now I just to give you guys a heads up and give you a disclaimer. I did not watch this particular video that this guy did, but I do know that the video is pretty much having to do with the title. He's basically saying that Devin Haney is sucker punching people while Tank Davis is handing out backpacks to school kids. Okay? Now, if you were an impressionable casual boxing fan, you're a boxing casual fan, and you were impressionable, you would get the sense that Devin Haney is busy going around to fairs and whatnot and sucker punching people that didn't deserve it, while Tank Davis is focused on handing out backpacks and performing charity to individuals who have less than he has. You will get that impression as a casual boxing fan. And the way that this spin doctor performs this stuff, 22 Ronin, what's good? Can't Guard Jay is in the building. Please hit the like button, y'all. And Knockout Boxing 86 TV is very masterful at spinning narratives. He's I now refer to him as a boxing narrative ballerina, because he has a way of spinning the narrative like a ballerina would spin her or himself. He has a way of spinning a narrative like a ballerina to where you're fascinated and you have been convinced by this spinning of the narrative, because either you're lacking in common sense, or you are not exercising it, or you just are going along with the narrative because he agrees with your point of view, which is to convince the world that Devin Haney is trash, or that convince Devin Haney is not good for the sport, or this, that, and the third. But at the same time, he'll tell you that he's not a Devin Haney hater. Well, he actually is a Devin Haney hater. He is one of the top Devin Haney haters in boxing YouTube. De La Hoya on Club Shay Shay. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, Oscar De La Hoya is just, you know, Oscar De La Hoya destroyed his mind with drugs and alcohol. So, you know, and now it's like it has burned a hole in his cognitive function. That's what I think is going on with Oscar De La Hoya. But anyway, Knockout Boxing 86 TV. You know, it can be entertaining when he does it to people who go onto his channel, go on his platform, goes onto his panel to debate him. But at some point, it's like, all right, bro, you can't be serious. You can't be serious. Particularly with this thing with Devin Haney. Devin Haney was at a fair or something like that. He was at some fairgrounds, Pomona Fairgrounds, I believe, when he was confronted by a fanatic. Okay, he was confronted by a fanatic who got in his face, and according to Devin Haney, he was threatening him and talking shit, all this, that, and the third. And Devin Haney was with some guys, and Devin Haney's, these guys, these friends of Devin Haney's, and perhaps security, got in between him and the guy that was talking this shit. Now, the guy was with other people, blah, blah, blah. And of course, Devin Haney being filmed. Well, Devin Haney got frustrated and took a swing at the guy who was talking the shit. Now, understand that the guy that was talking shit was directly in front of Devin Haney. And he's talking shit to a grown man and a fighter. All right, understand that. Devin Haney is a fighter and a grown man. Now, Knockout Boxing 86 TV would have you believe that Devin Haney sucker punched him. right? But how do you sucker punch somebody that you are launching threats and verbal attacks to in their fucking face, and there's nothing between you but air and opportunity and a couple of friends? How is that a sucker punch? You see, as a grown-ass man, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. You know, I was born in 1980, so I am a truly a 80s baby and an 80s kid and a 90s kid and a 90s teenager. And that was an era at which you had consequences for your actions. If you get in somebody's face and you talk shit, you liable to get punched. It's not a sucker punch. You know what I'm saying? A sucker punch would be, oh, I'm gonna talk this shit in your face, and the guy walks away. Man, I ain't got time for this bullshit. Right? He walks away, and then you run up on him while his back is turned, and you punch him in the side of the head or the side of the jaw, and he don't even see it coming whatsoever. That's a sucker punch. A sucker punch is not, I'm talking shit directly in your face, threatening you, assaulting you verbally, and then you swing at me. That is not a sucker punch. You can tell how their goofies try to spin it. They never been in shit before. Yeah, Jay, man, that's good. What's good, brother? Yeah, well, yeah, he definitely clout chasing. And Knockout Boxing 86 TV is definitely clout chasing, because when he decided to cover Devin Haney last, before that, he said himself that he's not a Devin Haney hater, but he likes to talk about Devin Haney because it brings traction to his channel. So we know what bullshit Knockout Boxing 86 TV is on. Now, I was, and I probably still, I have no idea. I haven't commented in Knockout Boxing 86 TV's comment section since he said that bullshit about Devin Haney being an email no contest. So I was a moderator of his, you know what I'm saying? And I had a level of respect for him. And I felt like, well, this disdain he has for Devin Haney is strictly boxing, strictly logical, right? In his own mind, he thinks Devin Haney is not as good as people thinks he is, blah, blah, blah. But it really gets to the point where, okay, now you think that Devin Haney is an email no contest, but you know he got cheated. You know that he was cheated in his last fight by Ryan Garcia, who was on performance-enhancing drugs, right? He was on performance-enhancing drugs. But you call him an email no contest because the result of Ryan Garcia having been caught as a drug cheat, the consequence was having the win reversed to a no contest and a 1-year suspension and a fine. So you call yourself a person who believes that Ryan Garcia cheated and that he doesn't get any excuse or anything like that. Oh, there's no excuse for it. Ryan Garcia is a cheater, blah, blah, blah. But then you will go and throw in the face of Devin Haney that he received a no contest via email. You know damn well that's an insult. So with that, I understood that he's lacking in integrity, and I can't fuck with people like that. I can't support people who lack in that level of integrity, who say one thing and actually mean another. His actions don't match his words. This, that, and the third. Here comes Dead Mike to troll. Your boy Devin is a disgrace to boxing out of the sucker punching civilians. Dead Mike is an idiot. Dead Mike, if you get in somebody's face and talk shit and make threats and all that, I don't give a fuck who the person is. I don't give a fuck if I don't give a fuck if they're the Pope. I don't give a fuck how much of a celebrity or whatever. Devin Haney is a civilian too. What are you talking about? Devin Haney is not in the military. Devin Haney is not a mobster. Devin Haney is a guy who's a professional boxer. Devin Haney is also a civilian, and he has the right to defend himself and protect himself against threats. So then, Mike, you can fuck off with that nonsense. You're not getting me with that bullshit. You're not. Hey, that might work on some clown shoe who lacks in common sense and has no monicum of street knowledge. Devin Haney had the right. You understand what I'm saying? Because let me help you understand something. In the state of California, there is a thing called assault and battery. Assault does not have to be physical. If you issue a threat in California, that can be considered assault. When you put your hands on somebody, it becomes battery. That's when it becomes assault and battery. So if you act like you're, and it doesn't have to be verbal either. It could be like you're in somebody's face, you're hollering and screaming, and you have a threatening posture. That is considered assault. Battery is when you put your hands on somebody. So in the state of California, you can actually defend yourself before somebody puts their hand on you. You understand? In California, if you feel threatened, you have the right to defend yourself against that threat physically before they even touch you. Now, if he puts his hands on you first and you put your hands back on him, that's mutual combat, and you both can be charged with assault and battery. You understand what I'm saying? That's how it works in California. Miss me with the bullshit. Dead Mike, when did Devin Haney? Devin Haney's not a role model. See, these are the narratives. See, because I destroyed your retarded argument, you want to come with some bullshit about Devin Haney being a role model. Let me help you understand something. Because I am my son's role model, and he will understand that if somebody threatens him, right, whether it be verbally, physically, and they're having a threatening posture towards him, and somebody threatens my son in any regard, and he feels threatened, and the person that's across from him is hostile, he does not have to wait to get hit. Because guess what? If he waits, he can get knocked out, get stomped out, and die. So, yes, Devin Haney is a role model. That is how you should, in my mind, react to somebody who's threatening you and has a threatening posture. See, you grew up you're probably a 2000s kid, and you a sucker ass MC. You a sucker. You see, it's just a hate for Devin Haney. If it were Tank Davis or one of your favorite boxers, you would not have a problem with them doing the same thing. As a matter of fact, y'all didn't have a problem when Tank Davis put his hands on the chick. Nobody said anything about Shakur Stevenson putting his hands on the chick in a gas station while she had her back turned to him. But no one wants to talk about that. You've been sucks free. I disagree, Dead Mike. I disagree. You sucker free right now. So hey, that's a learned behavior. So it probably took you a while to become sucker full. You're full of sucker shit. Anyway, you do not have to wait for somebody to put their hands on you to defend yourself against any threat they may pose to you. No. If they're in your face screaming, hooping, and hollering, and they're issuing threats, and they have a hostile posture and a threatening posture to you, I think and believe that you should be able to defend yourself before they do something to you. And that's perfectly fine. Now, my motto is hit first, hit fast, get your retaliation in early. Yeah. Well, I didn't come up with that. Jack Reacher came up with that in the books. But that's how you get out of becoming seriously injured or dying when you face a threat in the real world. When you face a threat in the real world, you know what I'm saying? You do not have time to wait for somebody to attack first, physically. You know what I'm saying? Sunshine was good. Nice movie, Ty. Anyway, yes, boxing works. Yep. That's where I trained. When I first started doing Muay Thai, I trained at Boxing Works in California. You want that shirt? Well, you still in Cali, I think you go on up to Boxing Works, and they'll give you 2 free t-shirts when you join the class. You know what I'm saying? Last I know, Boxing Works is in Torrance. The last time I went there, I don't know where it is now, but I did find another gym that has MMA classes, Muay Thai classes. So I will be going up there on Saturdays to spar and train with others, and they also have people that come from other gyms to have a little fun competition. So I can't wait to start doing that. But anyway, Devin Haney had the right to defend himself against someone who had a threatening posture towards him. But he didn't connect. So Devin Haney didn't connect. Now, and it's not just Knockout Boxing 86 TV. There are people out there that think Devin Haney shouldn't have done what he did. But I disagree, right? Blue Blood Sports TV thinks that it was a lapse in judgment for Devin Haney to do that. I disagree. And I got mad respect for Blue Blood Sports TV. But I disagree. Just because Devin Haney is a boxer and is famous and has a lot of money does not mean that he does not have the right to defend himself. This whole thing about registered weapons and all that's nonsense, right? It's nonsense. You know, that's some shit that they say in the movies. It's a lot more complicated than that. But again, Devin Haney did not connect, and so, and he said he walked away. You might call that a lapse in judgment. I call it being a human being who was facing a threat, and he did not know the level of threat. Y'all don't get this shit. Y'all call it a sucker punch. But Devin Haney did not know the level of threat or what kind of threat this individual may have posed. He could have had a knife. You know, he could have known. This guy's Latin. This is the Latin, the Hispanic guy. So he could have. You know, y'all might think this is a little, you know, off color, but you know, he might have known Mexican judo. You don't know if he got a gun. You don't know if he got a knife. And so, hey, you got to handle the business. You got to handle business. Dead Mike is an idiot. Anyway, J-Man. So, yeah, race fan, basically. So Devin Haney did what he was supposed to do. And his boys did what they were supposed to do and handle his light work to protect him, as any friends or security should do. But, you know, and then there was another individual that said, oh, Devin Haney shouldn't be going out with the regular folk. He should not be going anywhere. He should shut down the fair and don't allow people to come in. If he, like, listen, man. Listen. These people, these celebrities and, you know, these people of wealth and all this other shit, famous people, they don't owe us anything. Right? They don't have to hide themselves away in order for us to not bother them. You understand what I'm saying? Everyone has the right to their privacy in their space and to not be having people get in their face with bullshit. Everyone has that right. I don't give a fuck how much money they got. So understand that when you get in someone's face and you invade their personal space and you issue threats and you issue threatening postures, they do not have the right. I mean, they don't have to accommodate you or make you feel good about yourself. There are consequences to actions. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Devin Haney does not owe y'all shit. If he wants to go to a carnival, if he wants to go to the movies like a regular motherfucker, if he wants to go to a fair If he wants to go fishing in the Potomac and not have people bother him, he has that right. Right? Now, as a public figure and whatnot, and celebrity, there are certain expectations of privacy that you have to not have, right? Because people are going to take pictures, they're going to want to get signatures and all this other stuff, and that's perfectly fine. You have to understand that you are out in the open, you are a celebrity, people are going to want to converse with you, they're going to want to interact with you, whether they like you or not. But you have the right to respond in equal measure with equal energy to what they're doing. So if a person comes up to you and they like you, they want to hug and they want to take a picture, you have a right to take a picture with them. Like, okay, well, this is what it is. Like, I'm a celebrity. But that does not give another individual the right to get in your face with hostility. So you have the right to meet that hostility with your own hostility. Believe that to retrieve that. Understand that. So what Devin Haney did was ensure that he could not be harmed by this individual by initiating, by being the first to attack. This is grown man BI. You understand what I'm saying? This is grown man business. When I was when I was growing up, when I was in my 20s, you know what I'm saying, and I was going out partying and I was doing this, that, and the third, I did not wait for people to put their hands on me first. If there was hostility, especially when I was in the military, South Korea, when I was in Kansas and these other places, and you're going out and you're getting drunk and there's other soldiers out and about, everybody's getting drunk. You do not have time. Listen, somebody, when I was in South Korea, when I was there, some guy was hanging out in Tongdashan, which is a town right off post in Camp Casey. Dude was minding his own business, and he ran into a guy who had a cast. All right, now these are both soldiers now. Ran into somebody with a cast. All right, ran into somebody with a cast. And they were with their boys. He was with his boys. Everybody was with their boys. For whatever they got in, and the guy didn't want to do nothing to the guy with the cast because the guy had a cast, and he was like whatever. And the guy with the cast, well, you think he gave a shit? No, he did not. What did he do? He proceeded to beat the guy to death with his cast. Yes. The guy with the cast on his arm beat the guy with no cast on his arm to death because the guy without the cast said, "You're no threat to me." But the guy with the cast was an asshole and a drunk bastard, and proceeded to beat the shit out of him with his cast. Now the guy with the cast was dead. He's dead. And so that is a consequence of not acting in your own self-interest and in self-preservation. What could he have done with the guy with the cast? Well, I don't want to be a Monday morning quarterback. But I don't know. He could have did something. If the guy's threatening him and you're like, oh, I don't want to fuck with you because you got a cast, but he's still proceeding to try to do something, well, then take his motherfucking casted arm, wrench it, and throw his ass to the ground, kick him in the face. Fuck it. Because you're not about to hit me with that goddamn cast. Oh, no. Hell no. Just like when I was a kid, I had a friend named Edward. We fought damn near every day. Damn near every day. And I always beat his ass. Always got the best of him. Always beat his ass. Never failed. Then one day, we got into it again in my backyard. He decided he got tired of me whooping his ass, so he grabbed a pipe. You know what I'm saying? Because, in backyards, back in the 80s, kids had pipes in their backyards. I don't know why. I don't know why there was a fucking lead pipe in my backyard, but there was one. Well, he was at first threatening me with the pipe, acting like he was going to hit me with it. And I didn't think he was going to try to do it. Right? I didn't think he was going to try to do it. And guess what? I should have acted as though he already swung it at me. You know why? Because he actually did swing it at me. And I was able to defend myself against it, but guess what? It was a pipe, you know, it was an open pipe. So, you know, it was hollow in the middle. And it had the threads on both ends. And when he came to bring it down to hit me upside the head with it, I shot my arm up to stop it. But instead, I tried to grab his wrist or his hand, but it didn't catch on his hand or his wrist. The fucking pipe, the edge of the end of the pipe went into my hand, the palm of my hand. So I caught it with the palm of my hand, but I stopped myself from getting hit upside the head. But I had a scar in the palm of my hand. I might actually still have it. I was bleeding like a motherfucker. And guess what? I took the pipe, I threw it, and I beat his ass. Now, I could have hit him upside the head with the pipe, but I didn't. I threw the pipe away, and I beat his ass. I got blood all over him. My blood. All over him, because it was bleeding out of my fucking hand. I beat his ass. Because he tried to hit me with a lead pipe. And with great force, too, because when he hit me in my fucking palm with it, it was coming down like that. The edge of the pipe was there. I caught it like that. Bleeding out my motherfucking hand, I beat his ass. I grabbed the pipe, I threw it, beat his ass. But he was threatening me with the pipe before he brought it up above his head. I learned a lesson that day. I learned that I was not going to wait for someone to swing on me that I knew was hostile toward me and wanted to issue a threat to me. That did issue a threat to me. And there was anger between us. We were hostile toward each other. So I learned a lesson that I'm not going to wait for a motherfucker to swing on me. I'm going to hit first, hit fast, hit hard, get my retaliation in first. That's the lesson I learned. And guess what? That saved my life later on in my life. When I got out of the military, and I was as sick as a dog. I got out of the military. Well, I think I was on leave. Yeah, I was on leave. I was on leave. No, wait. No, this wasn't. No, I was still a kid. This was when I was still a kid, actually. Why are we stopping? The fucking action was on the other side of the highway. In the opposing lanes. Why are we slowing down when the shit's over there? What? Keep going, motherfucker. God damn, nosy motherfuckers. Yeah, it looks like a big commotion. Okay, keep going. Anyway. So, I'm ditching school. I think I'm like 16 or 15 or whatever. And I'm walking down Angeles Vista Boulevard to go to the mall and to go to hang out with this chick and all this other shit that I got pregnant. That's a long another story. And this bum, this homeless guy, walked up on me. And I guess he thought I was a threat or something. But you know, he pulled a knife out, right? He was scared, right? He was scared. He was fucking schizophrenic. But as soon as he pulled the knife out, I motherfucking bum rushed him. Because I don't know what he was going to do with the knife. I bum rushed him, right? I bum rushed him. I grabbed his arm, pushed it back, and I threw him to the ground, and I ran. Now, I didn't beat the guy. I was scared than a motherfucker. I had adrenaline rushing, whatever the case may be. I didn't know what he was going to do. But I did not wait for him to stab at me with the fucking knife. I didn't wait for him to go, fuck that. No, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to do something to defend myself. As soon as he pulled that knife out, and I saw that there was hostility, born out of fear, right? Born out of fear, not out of anger or whatever, because he didn't know me, I didn't know him. He was a fucking schizophrenic, paranoid ass bum. But I threw him to the ground and I kept running. I ran. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker had a knife. I tried to do like in the movies and get the knife out of his hand and, you know, whack it away like, you know, Jackie Chan, you know, you whack the hand and the knife just flies. That shit don't work in real life. But what it did do is it bought me some space from the blade. It bought me precious space from the blade in the contact with my skin. and I was able to push him to the ground. That was what more so saved my life, potentially, than attacking the knife hand. Was throwing him off balance and making him hit the ground. That is a lot more effective than trying to attack the knife hand. I tried to do both. I tried to attack the knife hand, and then when I just did what I did. But in hindsight, I knew that the more effective maneuver was bowling the guy to the ground. I was bigger than him. Bowling the guy to the ground and keeping it pushing. That was more effective. And there were more times in my life where grown-ass men, I'm a grown-ass man, we are hostile towards each other. We're in a hostile standoff. We're at a hostile standoff. One guy's waiting for the other to make the first move. If you're in a hostile standoff and you're waiting for the guy to make the first move, you already lost. You already lost. So what kind of person would I be if I said, oh, Devin Haney, no, he shouldn't have did nothing. He should have waited for the guy to do something. No, fuck that. The guy knows who Devin Haney is. Devin Haney don't know who he is. The guy's threatening. The guy's hostile. Fuck all that bullshit. And fuck what Dead Mike talking about. Why am I attacking civilians in the streets? You see, Dead Mike has a comprehension problem. Can someone explain to him why I attacked the guy in the street? What a fucking idiot. Now I know Dead Mike is trolling y'all. I just hope y'all need to understand it. Dead Mike is my #1 troll. But there are people out there that think like Dead Mike, so we're gonna answer him. Somebody tell him why I would attack a civilian in the street when I was 15, 16 years old. I'm 15, 16 years old. Why would I attack a civilian in the street? What are you talking about? What are we talking about? Devin Haney is a civilian. Devin Haney is not in the y'all just like to throw words around. All right? Even colloquially, Devin Haney is a civilian. What does colloquially mean? Colloquially is like a turn of phrase, a figure of speech, a metaphor, whatever the fuck just the slang, basically. Even in colloquial terms, I can't pronounce it right now. Even in colloquial terms, Devin Haney is not a civilian. Devin Haney is a civilian. Colloquially, a civilian is someone who's not in a criminal enterprise, right? So if let's say you're a mobster, you're a mobster, you're a gangster. When you do something to someone that's not a gangster, that's not part of the game, you're doing something to the civilian. Devin Haney is not a mobster. Devin Haney is not a gangster. He is a civilian who boxes professionally. I was a child. I was a 15, 16-year-old kid who was set upon by a grown homeless bum. But you're telling me I'm attacking civilians in the streets. Do you see the problem here? Now, Knockout Boxing 87 TV or 86 TV will tell you that Devin Haney sucker punched the guy. Well, I would hate to see what somebody like Knockout Boxing 86 TV would do when confronted with a threat from a hostile individual in the streets. Hopefully he doesn't get knocked the fuck out. Hopefully he has the wherewithal and the level of self-preservation to actually do something to prevent himself from being hurt by another individual. Hopefully he doesn't wait for somebody to attack him first, to do something about it. Otherwise, I mean, don't ever get no shit in the streets, KO. Don't get in no shit in the streets. Don't get into no shit. If somebody come at you in a hostile manner, you better hope you're not cornered or backed against the wall and you're able to just walk away or run. Because if you waiting for a motherfucker to hit you or to swing at you, you already lost. I don't give a fuck what level of training you have. I don't care what you got going on. You don't know what that person's intent is. You don't know what they have. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know their level of ability or training. So why would you wait? Why would you wait? Now, there are degrees of how you should handle situations. And this is a great learning lesson for people who believe that Devin Haney did sucker punch them. To do something to you first. Right? Now, there's nuance to this. Let's say you're in a state where you can openly and concealed carry like a free individual, and there's somebody that is going to threaten you, is threatening everything you have. So let's say you're in a store. You're in a store. You're with your family, you're chilling. You're getting groceries. And you're carrying a firearm, right? Like you do. You know what I'm saying? Your everyday carry. You got it, you know what I'm saying? You got access to it. You can get it, pull it out, blah, blah, blah. You know you got the skills to pay the motherfucking self-defense bills. Somebody comes in, some guy or something, some guy that looks like Trump's would-be assassin, because that's what all these guys look like now. They look like incels with glasses and stringy hair. That's what they look like now. That guy comes in, they pull out a firearm, and they're raising it, and they're getting ready to point it at somebody. A child, let's say. Let's say your child. Are you going to wait? And you know you got a quick draw, but this guy's pulling up. And you know you got time slowing down. You know what I'm saying? Your perception of time is slowing down, because sometimes that happens when your adrenaline kicks in and there's a situation. It's your body's natural natural tool to kind of help you get the edge and survive. You know you can pull this gun out. You know, that guy has a rifle. That guy has made himself known as a threat, but he doesn't know that you're a threat to him. He's not focused on you. He's focused on a kid that he wants to take out, whether it be yours or somebody else's. You have an opportunity to pull your gun out and incapacitate the threat. Are you going to wait for the guy to shoot first? Or are you going to pull your shit out and take him out? Tell me, knockout. Tell me, KO. Is that a sucker shot? Oh, this motherfucker sucker shot somebody. Oh, he sucker shot that guy. Because I shot him first before he could shoot somebody else. Let's say it's you. They're drawing down on you. You have your gun out. They have their gun out. Are you going to wait? Or are you going to try and shoot that motherfucker first? Are you going to concern yourself with whether or not somebody thinks you're a sucker shooter? The clown shit has to stop. Because it's clown shit. Devin Haney does not have to wait to be attacked physically before he can defend himself. Everyone has a right to defend themselves before they are harmed by somebody else. 22 Ronin says he takes cover first. Well, I hope you know that when you do that, that kid is going to meet his maker. No, what I would do, I would shoot first, then take cover. Because now you have, even if you don't hit that person, right? they are now alerted, and now they are put on the defensive. Now they are going to want to take cover, and you might have prevented that child from being killed. Why are we taking cover first? I don't want what. Come on, 22 Roman. Come on, man. Come on, you're not serious. You're not taking cover first, bro. Knock it off. You're not taking cover first. You're not taking cover first, bro. Damn, that mic got blasted. Oh well, you know, I believe in free speech, but hey, I can't tell you what my moderators believe in. Usually I tell them, don't block nobody, don't bleep nobody, but you know, it's too late now. Oh well. Never. Well, you know, I don't know what Dead Mike said, but Dead Mike is a piece of shit. Understand that Dead Mike is a supporter of the minor diddler, Mighty Mouse. So Dead Mike supports and rocks with a child molester and a child sex trafficker. Just so you know. So, and I like for Dead Mike to come on here and show his stupidity, because it's important. It's important that people see what type of people live in this world. So, I mean, listen, man. Y'all can call people sucker punchers and all this other, that, and the third. Y'all the ones that, when they meet a threat out in the real world, y'all gonna be the ones asked out. I don't want to see none of y'all motherfuckers that call Devin Haney a sucker puncher defending themselves against somebody before first being hit. No, you gotta wait until you're attacked physically before you can do something. So if you're in that situation, you're at the fair and somebody comes up to you, because you do have some level of celebrity, Knockout Boxing 86 TV, you have some level of notoriety. So somebody come up and you don't like you, and if they threaten you and they talk shit to you, you can't do shit until they hit you first or swing on you first. Hopefully you can slip the punch. Hopefully you can get out the way. Hopefully you can dodge the knife or dodge a bullet if they have one. I don't want to see you do shit until after they attack you first. They have to put their hands on you first, or try to put their hands on you first before you can do anything. I don't hear you say shit. And then you have this whole narrative that, oh, Tank Davis was handing out book bags while Devin Haney was at a fair sucker punching people. What does one have to do with the other? What does Tank Davis handing out backpacks have to do with Devin Haney being at the fair and enjoying his life and his own business? What's this false comparison? You see, a lot of people think that Knockout Boxing 86 TV is logical, but he's not. He's very illogical, especially when it comes to Devin Haney, and it's completely asinine. He gets passes from certain people. I don't understand it, but hey, that it is what it is. It is what it is. But it's understandable coming from somebody who is supported by southpaw TV and Deem by any means. You know, rocks with those types of guys that let you know what type of time you on. Because as long as y'all hate the same individual, y'all cool, right? So Tank Davis hands out backpacks while Devin Haney sucker punches somebody. I don't get the connection. Why are we conflating sucker punches and charity work? What does it have? What does one have to do with the other? Sunshine, I'm not going to unblock him. He'll come back. She only timed him out for so many seconds. It's not that serious. It's all good, man. You know, it's all good. But what are you talking about? Handing out backpacks, is that a big deal? I'm sorry. All right, he hands out backpacks. Okay. That precludes you from being a sucker. I don't understand it. So you're saying, are we saying that if Devin Haney was handing out backpacks, that he would not be sucker punching people? Or if someone sucker punches somebody, they can't hand out backpacks? What is this false dichotomy? Like, I don't get it. This is stupid. It's dumb. I'm just gonna call it like I see it. That is the stupidest rationale I've ever witnessed. It's dumb. Because mind you, Devin Haney and his father Bill Haney perform charity work all the time in the community. They hand out lunches and food, and they do this and that. It's part of their religion. It's part of what they do as Muslims. I was, as a kid, I was a practicing Muslim. You know what I'm saying? My family was Muslim. My mom and my stepdad converted us to Islam. And part of what you do as a Muslim is charity work. That's just part of the game. And it's not to be made a big deal. It's something that you do because it's the right thing to do. It's you're giving back. You're giving to the community because you have it and they don't. You have more than they do, so why not help out? That's what Devin Haney and Bill Haney does. They do that. But y'all like to clown them for doing it, and you're saying that, oh, they're doing it for this reason, purpose, and that purpose. Oh, they ain't the genuine. Oh, they're not doing it for the good. They doing it to show off. Can't we say the same thing about Tank Davis? What are we talking about? Completely asinine. The dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Almost as dumb as calling Devin Haney a sucker puncher for making sure that no harm comes to himself or his friends. Almost as dumb. Charity work, sucker punching. What? I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, what? Why? What? And like I said, I didn't watch the video, but I know that this guy, knockout boxing 86 TV, is on some clown shit. This is the reality. He is on some clown shit. Charity work is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. You got Hajj, you got the pilgrimage, you got all these things. I don't remember right off the top of my head. But charity work is one of those 5 pillars of Islam. It's one of the 5 pillars. And Devin Haney routinely performs charity work. So that completely negates your whole narrative that Devin is too busy sucker punching people to give. As if one stops you from being able, like, it's asinine. And we act like Knockout Boxing 86 TV is this genius level. He's not, right? He just knows how to manipulate. He knows how to manipulate and twist shit around and convince you that something is what it's not. And these people exist all over the world in many different facets of the world. They're not just in boxing. They're in politics, right? They're in media. That's why they are where they are. That's why they are in media. That's why they have such a following. That's why they have so much influence, because they have the ability to convince you that something is what it's not. To convince you that they have a certain belief system that they don't have. They have the ability to convince you that they are logical where they are not. They have the ability to convince impressionable casuals that things are what they aren't. That the sky is purple. They have the ability. That's why they are where they are. And the reason it works so well is because they are speaking to something that the casuals want to cling on to. For whatever reason, a lot of people have this inherent hate and disdain for Devin Haney. And so when someone pushes a narrative that aligns with their perspective and their beliefs, they will more easily cling to that. They will more easily grasp onto it. Why? Because it's easy. Because they don't have to think for themselves. See, a lot of people don't want to speak for themselves. There, Mike, you didn't get blocked. You got timed out. You got timed out by a moderator who knows you're on some clown shit and didn't want to see it. That's what happened. But anyway, so they'll convince you that Devin Haney doesn't do charity work because he sucker punches people. Like Knockout Boxing 86 TV. They'll convince you that Tank Davis doesn't sucker punch people because he's too busy doing charity work. It's stupid. It really is. And anybody that falls for that, or any that believes that, or is convinced by that, you're an idiot, or you just don't give a fuck about being logical. You know that is bullshit. You just you understand it's bullshit, but because you don't like Devin Haney, or you don't like the person that another individual is being illogical about, you don't like him, so it's okay. Okay, I'll be illogical right along with you, even though I know it's retarded. Even though I know it doesn't make sense. And that's what we got going on, right? That is the way of the world now. You see, they really push this over the finish line, right? This whole idea that one cannot think for themselves. One cannot exercise critical thinking skills. During the Modelo 19 pandemic. Yeah. Right? When they convince you that anyone that fact checks and does their own research, that they are conspiracy theorists and are stupid. They convince you that they will kill their grandmothers because they don't want to go outside and wear a face flag. That they didn't want to not be around family because you told them to. Anybody that exercised common sense, anybody that exercised critical thinking skills and wanted to do their own research, were stupid and reckless. That's when it really started to spiral out of control. Because they pushed that fear. They pushed that fear. It was the Hegelian dialectic. Now it's just commonplace. It's commonplace. If you do your own research, if you exercise critical thinking skills, if you fact check, right? Because anybody that watched that video of Knockout Boxing 86 TV that said, and when he said that Gervonta Tank Davis hands out backpacks while Devin Haney sucker punches people, all you do a little digging, do a little research. Devin Haney not do charity work? Does he not hand out backpacks? No, you would just be able to do a Google search, and you will see that they do that shit on a regular basis. And then you would be able to dismiss that video out of hand and rightfully call Knockout Boxing 86 TV a clown, a narrative ballerina, because that's what he is. He is really good not at convincing you of the facts. No. Especially when it comes to Devin Haney. No. He has the ability to spin and twist. He has the ability to manipulate facts. That's what he does. And that is not that actually that is a level of intelligence that there is a certain level of intelligence, but it's really what it really speaks to is a lack of integrity. Right? Because how can you trust somebody that does that about one guy? He only does it to Devin? How do we know that he's not lacking in integrity when it comes to other things and other... We don't know. We don't know shit about this motherfucker. So it's all good. Millions of people around the world died from the virus. Show them respect for the dead. Mike, you have no idea what you're talking about, right? They told you many people died from the virus, but what they also told you is that anybody that died with the virus, whether they died by virus or not, was considered a. What does that say? Well, that says that those numbers that they give, they told you that a Modelo 19 death was a death that someone with Modelo had was okay. So they attributed the death to Modelo 19 only if you had it. You didn't have to die directly from it or whatever. If you had it when you died, it was a Modelo 19 death. They told you that to your fucking face. But then the CDC also told you that 6% of the deaths could actually only be attributed to Modelo 19 directly. And that those people had comorbidities. But we won't go there, right? We won't go there. Because now we're going into the realm of medical misinformation and all this other shit. And I might end up getting a strike. But the point of the matter is that if you decided to exercise common sense and to do research and to fact check, whether you wind up being right or not, they convinced you that you are wrong for that. You're wrong. Or if you fact check, if you don't just trust what I say. Because what is Anthony Frosty going through right now? What is Anthony Frosty going through right now? They going at his neck because he helped push the lies. Anthony Frosty. Yeah, he helped push lies about the pandemic. He helped push the lie that it was not created in a lab and that it was not released from the lab, which started the pandemic in the first place. No. If you come to that conclusion, even though they gave you every reason to, well then guess what? You are pushing misinformation and you will be silenced. Yeah. Okay, someone was advertising their dried up motion bags. Spam. We definitely don't want spam and bullshit. And bots. Bots don't have free speech and neither does spam. And typically the spam comes from bots. So the bottom line is, man, 86 TV is full of shit. Yeah. He's full of shit. And this idea that you can't defend yourself against an imminent threat, you can't sucker punch somebody because you're too busy handing out backpacks is asinine. Right? So, I mean, come on, man. We got to do better. We got to do better. And we got to call these people out, man. We know they're full of shit. What's so hard about that? All right, this guy's full of shit. I'm calling him out. And that's what I'm doing. I don't care who they're aligned with. I don't care who they cool with. And that comes with me being my own man and exercising free thought, freedom of thought. That's how I roll. That's why I am a lone wolf. Because I'm not the go along to get along guy. I don't give a fuck who KO cool with. I don't give a fuck who aligned with him. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a hot damn. I'm my own man. And if y'all don't like it, oh well. Oh to the well. I stand on my nuts, and that's what it is. So, with that, I am going to end this live stream. I'm going to go ahead and I gotta pull over to a gas station, relieve myself, and then I'll come back to talk about this this whole situation in San Antonio at the military base where some guys tried to gain entry. I'll get on that. So much love, like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back to keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.